we're here. The Jets. The reason that I decided to do AFC East today is because of the Jets. Because I believe that they're the most overrated team in football. Starting out with Aaron Rodgers, put him over the tier list. Serviceable. He'll be okay. He'll be good enough to get the job done. Now let's break down why. Go Aaron Rodgers here. Look at his last couple years. You know, the Jets fans, what they'll tell you is, he's coming off 2 MVPs. Yeah, 3 years ago. Look at the seasons after that. First off, we have the worst season of his entire career. Besides the three up here. Passer rating wise, it is his lowest passer rating of his career. Passing touchdowns wise, is the fourth lowest of his career. Interceptions wise, it is the second highest of his career. I mean, this is not a Aaron Rodgers season. Okay, so already you're looking at it's like, okay, that's not a very good season. He's 39 here in this season. And then at 40 years old, he suffers in a season-ending injury that would affect 99% of players. And, I mean, what we're hearing now is that he's still not fully recovered. They're not playing him in the sitting out in the preseason. Okay, sitting out my ass. If he's gonna sit out the preseason, he's gonna get no contact, and then the first contact is gonna be week 1, and they're going against the 49ers. Yeah, good luck, buddy. Good luck. I'd like to see that happen. I'd like to see him go through all that where he is just against modern medicine, and he's gonna be 41 years old. He's 40, late 40s or late 40 when the regular season starts, and you're just gonna expect him to be the same player he was before these last 2 seasons. No, it's just not gonna happen. I don't care who he's throwing to. He's not gonna be very good this year. And after that, you got Tyrod, good backup. I was talking about Jets fans. He's real. Jordan Travis is the future. Jordan Travis is 24 years old. Old, 5th-round pick. When's the last time a 5th-round pick was a meaningful quarterback? Brady's a once-in-a-generation. Brady was drafted 25 years ago, damn near. A quarter of a century. And you're going to act like Jordan Travis is just Tom Brady? I mean, stop. I saw a Joe Milton comparison to Tom Brady the other day. Bullshit. I wouldn't be surprised, but if he made the final roster, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Jordan Travis is cut. Breece Hall, most overrated running back in football. Didn't even crack 1,000 last year. I mean, overrated. He's not better than Ken Walker. He's just not. He's a solid running back, and that's all I have to say about Breece Hall. Backup Braylon Allen, the big guy, Wisconsin. He's young. Big guy. He's young. I don't really know what to think about him. I have mixed feelings. Garrett Wilson, another overrated player. He's not better than DK Metcalf. You know, I mean, look at these numbers. 170 targets. Like, that might have been the most targets anyone got in the NFL last year. And he barely cracked 1,000 yards. I mean, look at this. These numbers aren't. He's not even better than his fellow Ohio State receiver, Chris Olave. Chris Olave is better. I'd rather have Chris Olave than Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson is probably somewhere that 20 to 25, top 20 to 25 range of receivers. Where are we here? Mike Williams, coming off a big injury. He's solid. Is a pretty good wide receiver, too. But okay, I can't just. A lot of Mike Williams. I don't know what I'm doing. This is the one. Look, has just hurt. He's having a pretty good year. He was. But will he be the same player at 29 as he was at 27? Well, 30. He'll be damn near 30. Will he be the same player he was at 27? Xavier Gipson. Yeah, wide receiver 3, not very good for Xavier Gipson. I fully expect Malachi Corley to get there. And even then, I'm not huge on Malachi Corley either. He will be. I expect Malachi Corley to have like 400 receiving yards. Tyler Conklin, solid. Kenny Yeboah was a guy I was actually a really big fan of coming out of college. I remember in the Senior Bowl I was really watching him. He was really just giving dudes the business. Tyron Smith, we know Tyron Smith, one of the best tackles of the past decade, and he's still very good. Olu Fashanu was the first round pick. He's pretty good. John Simpson, no clue. These guys, I have no clue. Tippmann, fine. Elisha Vera Tucker, pretty good. Morgan Moses, fine. Jermaine Johnson, what has he done? 7.5 sacks last year. Those are pretty inflated numbers for someone who's not 7.5 sack good. Javon Kinlaw, he is solid. He's not the best. He's not the worst. Quinton Williams is very good. Hassan Reddick, who I don't even know if he's reported to training camp. Has he? Did he report? Because I know a couple weeks ago he wasn't. He could be reporting soon. So as of 5 days ago, he has not shown up. And their first preseason game is in a couple weeks, a couple days, few days. And he has not shown up to training camp. So really all you need to know. Sherwood, really don't know much about him. Sammy Guavin, I thought was going to be good. He was in LA for a little bit. I thought he was the future. And he turns out he wasn't. Is that Tack McKinley I saw? Tack McKinley's still around. Good for him. I was a big Tack McKinley fan. CJ Mosley, he's good, but he's also pretty old. He'll get the job done. Quincy Williams, actually a dude I didn't know anything about until last year. We had a monster season. Sauce Gardner, overrated. Let's go look at the advanced stats here. Let's just break it down. Jeff Vance will tell you he's the best ever. 2 All-Pros he's just going off name value at this point. Or the advanced stats. When quarterbacks talking to him, they have an 80 rating, which isn't bad for the corner. It's pretty good for a corner. But first team All-Pro, I can tell you, guys like Jalen Ramsey, I guarantee you, Jalen Ramsey's were better. And he didn't make All-Pro. Let's see what Jalen Ramsey's were. Jalen Ramsey, when targeted, was a passer rating of 51, nearly 30 points less, and he wasn't first team All-Pro. Even Tariq Woolen, I was looking at this the other day. It's not Tariq anymore. It's Reek on here. Even Tariq Woolen's had better advanced numbers. Tariq Woolen had a better passer rating, or better for the corner. Tariq Woolen's numbers were better than Sauce Gardner's, and he didn't even make a Pro Bowl. I mean, Jalen Johnson, another guy who, I mean, Jalen Johnson probably the top 3 corner in football. You want to see what top 3 corner numbers look like? This is what they look like. 50%, 50 passer rating. I mean, so Sauce Gardner walking around with an 80 and then getting first team All Pro is just, I mean, it's just disingenuous. He's good, but he's not that good. And a 97 in Madden is preposterous. Brandon Eccles, did he go to Rutgers? He went to Kentucky. He's okay. He's not the best in the world. Aston Davis, Chuck Clark, old Ravens guy. I don't know how long. I think he's been on the Jets for a couple years, but I mean he's good enough to get to play. Aston Davis is fine. Tony Adams, fine. Young, bright future. DJ Reed, former Seahawk. Let's see what his advanced stats are looking like, because I mean, the Jets fans hype him up a lot too, like he's the best ever. But his years in Seattle were probably better than his years in Detroit. Yeah, look, his passer rating when targeted is low 80s. In Seattle, it was high 60s, mid 70s. This year in Seattle, so he's actually been worse in New York than he was in Seattle. But New York fans would talk to you like he's like the 10th best corner in the league, and he's not. Michael Carter, this guy actually has a really cool story. I'm rooting for Quantez, that guy, a lot. I hope he is pretty good, because he's got a fun story. Michael Carter, not that Michael Carter, the other one, he's fine. You know, this is a team that I'm not high on, and you'll see them when we get here. They're not winning against the 49ers. These are 3 games they should win here. We've gone over these. Should win that game. They should win that game. Not going to win that game. They should win that one. Not going to win that one. Not going to win against the Seahawks. Not going to win against the Dolphins. Probably win there. Probably win there. Losing against the Dolphins. That brings them to 10-7. Which, it might be able to sneak into the playoffs with that. But, I mean, this is a pretty easy schedule. In my opinion, they should be getting 10 wins, because this is an incredibly easy schedule. I mean, they're 0-6 against teams above 500. How do you like that? Yeah, so when they get to the playoffs, they're going to get exposed as frauds. The frauds they are. And we'll see. You know, if they even make the playoffs. You're going to learn really quickly that this team isn't who they say they are. And just for points of contention later after the season, I'm going to give a prediction for Aaron Rodgers' stat line. Okay, let's give a prediction. Let's look at the previous years. I think they'll probably throw I think throwing is 600 times isn't crazy for them. I think he'll probably go like 370 for 600. What are the numbers on this? That's about 62%. When you're throwing it 600 times, you're going to get a decent amount of yards. So let's say he gets Like, say he gets like 4,200 yards. I think he has a pretty solid receiving core, so I think he could hit 30, but it wouldn't be a high 30. I'm going to say 29 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. I'll bump up to 30. And so these are my 2024, 2025 stat predictions. And I'm going to send that to my friend, my Jets fan friend, Sean, right now, and I'll see what he has to say about this. So that's pretty much all I have to say about the Jets. I'm not really high on them, as Jets fans are. And next we'll do the Dolphins.